Yeah, you also sing
हाँ,
with us, so we will
ओके
know.
ओके ओके
Yes.
ओके माता जी। श्यामा गौरी नित्य किशोरी प्रीतम जोरी श्री राधे। श्यामा गौरी नित्य किशोरी प्रीतम जोरी श्री राधे। रसिक रसीलो छैल छबीलो गुण गर्वीलो श्री कृष्णा। रसिक रसीलो छैल छबीलो गुण गर्वीलो श्री कृष्णा। जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे। जय कृष्णा जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे। जय कृष्ण
राधे राधे
जय श्री राधे। जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा। जय कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा। रास विहारिणी रस विस्तारिणी प्रिय और धारिणी श्री राधे। रास विहारिणी रस विस्तारिणी प्रिय और धारिणी श्री राधे। नव नव रंगी नभल त्रिभंगी श्याम सुअंगी श्री कृष्णा। नव नव रंगी नभल त्रिभंगी
श्याम सुअंगी श्री
श्री
कृष्ण।
कृष्णा। जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे। जय राधे
जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे।
जय राधे जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा। जय कृष्णा
जय कृष्ण कृष्ण जय कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण।
प्राण प्यारी रूप उजारी अति सुखवारी श्री राधे। प्राण प्यारी
रूप
प्यारी अति सुखवारी श्री राधे।
मैना मनोहर महामुदकारा सुंदर बाराता श्री कृष्णा।
मैना
मनोहर
सुंदर
सुंदर
बारा
श्री
श्री
कृष्णा।
कृष्णा। जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे। जय राधे
राधे जय राधे
जय
राधे
राधे
जय
जय
राधे
राधे
जय
जय
श्री
श्री
राधे।
राधे। जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा। जय
जय कृष्णा
कृष्णा
जय कृष्णा
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 जय
जय
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
जय
जय
श्री
श्री
कृष्णा।
कृष्णा। शोभासयनी मोभामयी कोकिलबयनी श्री राधे। शोभासयनी
शोभाशयी
मोभामयी
शोभामयी
कोकिलबयनी श्री
कोकिलमयी
राधे। कीरतवन्ता कामिनी कंता श्री भगवंता श्री कृष्णा। कीर्तिवन्ता
कामिनी
कामिनी
कंता
कंता
श्री
श्री
भगवंता
भगवंता
श्री
श्री
कृष्ण।
कृष्णा। जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधे
जय
जय
राधे
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 जय
जय
राधे
राधे
जय
जय
श्री
श्री
राधे
राधे जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा जय कृष्णा
कृष्णा जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय
जय
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
जय
जय
श्री
श्री
कृष्णा
कृष्णा चंदा बदनी कुंदारदनी शोभा सदनी श्री राधे चंदा बदनी कुंदारदनी
शोभा
शोभा सदनी श्री
श्री राधे
राधे परम उदारा प्रभा पारा अति सुखवारा श्री कृष्णा परम उदारा परम पारा
अति
अति
सुखवारा
सुखवारा श्री
श्री
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधे
जय राधे
राधे जय
जय
राधे
राधे
जय
जय
श्री
श्री
राधे
राधे
हम सागवनी रजती रवनी क्रीडा कवनी श्री राधे हम
हम
सागवनी
सागवनी रजती रवनी क्रीड़ा
क्रीडा
कवनी
कवनी
श्री
श्री राधे
राधे
रूप रसाला नयन विशाला प्रिय परम कृपाला श्री कृष्णा रूप
रूप
रसाला
रसाला नयन विशाला परम कृपाला श्री कृष्णा
जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय
जय
राधे
राधे जय
जय
राधे
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 जय
जय
राधे
राधे
जय श्री
जय
राधे
राधे जय कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा जय
जय
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
जय
जय कृष्णा
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 कृष्णा जय
जय
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
जय
जय श्री
श्री
कृष्णा
कृष्णा कंचन बेली रतिरस रेली अति अलबेली श्री राधे
कंचन
कंचन
बेली
बेली रतिरस रेली
अति
अति
अलबेली
अलबेली
श्री
श्री
राधे
राधे सब सुख सागर सब गुण आगरा रूप उजागर श्री कृष्णा सब सुख सागर सब गुण
आगर रूप
रूप
उजागर
उजागर
कृष्ण
श्री कृष्णा जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय
जय
राधे
राधे जय राधे
राधे जय
जय
राधे
राधे
जय
जय
श्री
श्री
राधे
राधे जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा जय
जय
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
जय
जय
कृष्णा
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 कृष्णा जय
जय
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
जय
जय
श्री
श्री कृष्णा
कृष्णा
रवनी रम्या तारा तारतम्या गुणागम्या श्री राधे रवनी रम्या तारा तारतम्या
गुणागम्या
गुणागम्या
श्री
श्री
राधे
राधे धाम निवासी प्रभा प्रकाशी सहज सुहासी श्री कृष्णा काम
धाम
निवासी
निवासी
प्रभा
प्रभा प्रकाशी
प्रकाशी
सहज
सहज
सुहासी
सुहासी
श्री कृष्ण
जय राधे जय राधे
जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे
जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा जय कृष्णा
जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा
शक्त्यालादनी अतिप्रियवादिनी उन्मादिनी श्रीराधे शक्त्यालादिनी अतिप्रियवादिनी श्रीराधे अंग अंग तो न सारा सकलोना सुभा सुखाना श्री कृष्णा अंग अंग तो न कर सकलोना सुभक्त सुखाना श्री कृष्णा जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधे
जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे
जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा जय
कृष्णा जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा
राधा नामिनी गुणाभिरामिनी हरिप्रिय स्वामिनी श्री राधे राधा नामिनी गुणाभिरामिनी
हरि
हरिप्रिय स्वामिनी श्री राधे हरे हरे हरि हरे हरे हरि हरे हरे हरि श्री कृष्णा हरे हरे हरि हरे हरे
हरि हरि कृष्णा
जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय
जय राधे जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे
जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा
जय कृष्णा कृष्णा जय कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा हरि बोल
हरि
हरि
बोल
बोल
so I'll be presenting today Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat from Nectar of Instruction. So I'll read the verse. I mean, I am asking for forgiveness. I think for everything. I don't know. Sometime, especially for sometime, in the lecture, I use my own examples. I like to just keep. I try to explain more. So if I say something wrong that time, so please forgive me, and I'll be presenting. So I actually my references are from the Nectar of Instruction, the purport of the verse, and from Radhi Sham Prabhu's lecture. I could not find much on Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat, so I just found two lectures of Radhi Sham Prabhu. So I made some notes from there and took something, some shlokas or from the purport of Nectar of Instruction, verse 3rd. So I'll read the verse first. उत्साह निश्चय धैर्य तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तना संघा त्यागत सतो व्रतः सद्भिर भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति. So tat karma pravartanat, meaning, so in Updeshamrita, it said that activities by which pure devotional service is cultivated is called tat karma pravartanat. So basically, and if we see in the verse also, they have explained the meaning like utsaha by enthusiasm. So they have given tat karma is like the various activities favorable for devotional services And Pravartanat means by performing. So different activities which we need to perform for the pure devotional service. So before going ahead and understanding what is Tattat Karma Pravartanat, it is for me, I think it's very important to understand what is pure devotional service. So this is like you have to do some actions for the pure devotional services or the do's for pure devotional services. So for pure devotional services in the purport as well, they have given this verse: Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadhi anavritam anukulina krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttamaha. So one should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. This is called pure devotional service. So actually, when we say pure devotional service, so here Prabhuji has given an example of Prahlad Maharaj. So in the purport here, in the translation, it said that without desire of material profit or gain through fruitive activities. So Prahlad Maharaj is a very good example for understanding the Anya Vilashita Shunyam. Like his father had everything. Like Hiranyakashipu, Prabhuji was mentioning that, by twisting his eyebrows, he could control the whole universe. I mean, and the temperature of sun, and every demigod was serving him. But because he was he was very rich, he had everything whatever he wanted to be materially prosperous. But after that also we see that after his mistakes, because he was not into the devotional service, into the pure devotional service, and very much engaged in material services, material life. So he was actually how Narsim Maharaj actually killed him. So by this we understand, and Prahlad Maharaj actually teaches us that the ultimate goal for a person to be very rich or to be satisfied is Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. I mean, you should not have any other desire than the surrendering yourself to the Supreme Lord. And so when we talk about Tattat Karma Pravartanat, so the activity is favorable for bhakti. That means all the do's. So in the network of instruction, we are studying, the do's and the don'ts. In the previous verse, we learned about what we shouldn't be doing, which is not favorable for the bhakti, the pure devotional service. And the nectar of the instruction is actually instruction, as we read in the first verse, that it is for the neophyte devotees. So the one who's beginning his journey for spiritual world, so they need to know what are the do's for bhakti, and how we will get to know what are the do's, what we have to follow, by following the acharyas, by following the parampara. So if we just follow the footsteps of Acharya, what they have told us, it's definite that we will reach there. We will be a pure devotee one day, but only if we follow the parampara properly. So our Acharyas actually told us the four regulative principles, which are the four prohibitions. They said what we shouldn't be doing, and then they talk about what we should do is the Navvidha Bhakti. So in Navvidha Bhakti, we read in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. So all your senses, actually, this verse explains us to an acharya, tells our spiritual master or our previous acharyas, they tell us to actually engage your all senses to for the Krishna. So by Shravanam, Kirtanam, and other activities, so it's just that we have to engage our senses for completely for Krishna. So we'll be able to do Navidha Bhakti. Now here we'll see some examples, like King Parikshit have done Shravanam, and Sukhdev Goswami for by Kirtanam. He reached God, and devotee Prahlad by Smaranam, Mata Lakshmi by Padasevanam, Prithu Maharaj by Archanam, King Akrur by Vandanam, and Hanuman by Dasyam, Arjun Sakhyam, and King Bali by Atmanivedanam. And Ambrish Maharaj, as we read in, we are reading in second chapter in Bhagavad Gita, that he surrendered, he served God by all the nine senses. So they try to say that you should do all these things to reach God, to Supreme Lord. So if you are, if you can do one thing sincerely, it takes you to the supreme abode. But the thing which you need to learn here is you can do all this thing, but your purpose, your main goal should to reach the God, to Supreme Lord. So either, you can it's not by choice that I like kirtan, so I'll do kirtan. I mean, we should try to engage our whole senses. So practically, if I see that we should do all these nine, and then serve the surrender our senses to Lord. And then they have given 64 principles given by Srila Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion. They are like he has mentioned 64 principles which we should follow for pure devotional service. But I'll not be mentioning all that here. And we can, once we'll read the Nectar of Devotion, Prabhuji will teach us. I think there we'll get to know about these principles, what we need to do for pure devotional service. And I just wanted to mention the numbers, that 64 principles they have given in Nectar of Devotion. So that is why, because we are doing nectar of instruction. So being neophyte devotees, I mean, I'm saying myself, being, very new to this path, and, for a spiritual world, or how to worship the Lord, we are learning that in nectar of instruction. So actually in instruction, we see they are teaching us the do's and the don'ts. So actually the whole nectar of instruction is tat tat karma pravartanat. So if we learn by all the do's and don'ts in nectar of instruction, we are actually doing tat tat karma pravartanat, because that's what our spiritual master in nectar of instruction told us what to do, what not to do. So before we start that, that is why before beginning of the nectar of instruction, we read this. Nana Shastra Vicharinika Nipano Sadharma Sampas Samastapak. I'm sorry, I'll not be able to read it, but I'll just read this translation. So we read this that I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scripture with the aim of establishing eternal religious principle for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three world, and they are worth taking shelter of, because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. So we worship them before we do this prayer, because this instruction which they have given us, we need to follow. And we surrender ourselves to our Shat Goswamis and say that, just forgive us if we make any mistakes, but, we give our 100% to learn the scriptures as they have told us. So this is a good example of Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat. And that is why we read this, because we are actually following them. Um, okay, so now after that, Prabhuji said that, as I've mentioned, there are four regulative principles and Avidha Bhakti, and then 64 other principles mentioned. But Prabhuji said there are five principles of devotional service, and these five are very potent ones. So from Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Leela, he shared a verse: Guru Padashraya Diksha, Guru Rasevana, Guru Dharma Shiksha Pracha, Sadhu Marganugama. So he says that when we actually come to the movement, and when we are starting our spiritual life, and when we approach our Shiksha Guru, then our Shiksha Guru tells us that you should know, you shouldn't be doing these four things four regulative principles, and then you should learn, you should get the association of devotees, and you should, try to serve the deities and by prasadam. So they actually tell us these are the very initial principles which you need to know while you're starting your journey. But once you are doing all these things and you are consistent, and you know that now you have the taste for this and you want to advance in spiritual life, that is the time when we have to follow this verse. So in this verse, I'll read the translation. On the path of regulative devotional services, one must observe the following items. So when we are doing the chanting, when we are doing the Navida Bhakti, or we are doing Kirtanam, listening, or by all the senses we are serving God, and are following the four regulative principles. After that, this step comes. So in this, one must observe the following items. One must accept a bona fide spiritual master. So what now somebody can ask that, who is a bona fide spiritual master? So the bona fide spiritual master is who's coming from the parampara, right? Like we have Srila Prabhupada. So then they say, what all qualities, how we get to know that who, maybe he's in the parampara system, but what are the qualities one should know, that he is a bona fide spiritual master. So there are many qualities of a bona fide spiritual master. Before accepting that, he should be kind, he know the scriptures, he should be, cleanliness. But the most important principle, the which we need to know, is the principal quality of a guru is the attachment to Krishna and detachment for what is not related to Krishna. So anytime when you see this in a guru, or you are following somebody and you see that he's completely surrendered and attached to Krishna, and he has no relation to any other thing which is not related to Krishna, this principal quality actually shows that he is a bona fide spiritual master. So if you see this quality, you can accept him as a as a spiritual master. And then we know the example here. I was Amoglila Prabhu's once said that he was traveling somewhere by train, and then there were some sadhus in the train, and then they were talking, and then they asked that, um, okay, which parampara you are from. Then Amoglila Prabhu said that we are Rupanugas. So he actually paid obeisances to Amoglila Prabhu. And he said that this is how we should know that what this is our parampara. So not only you know the master, and not other sannyasis not respecting your guru, but your guru should be one whom other sannyasis also respecting him. So these are the qualities which we see in a bona fide spiritual master. Then the second is, one must accept initiation from him. So before taking the initiation, you are definitely following, all the regulative principles or what your guru tells you. But before taking the initiation, we should always remember that we should take initiation of only after pleasing the guru. So how do we please the guru? Of course, whatever he says, or listening to his instructions, or following him properly, and keeping faith in him. So after pleasing, we should take the initiation. But here some people, well, some people do doing bhakti, but they say that we can do it on our own, we can read the scriptures. That Prabhuji also shared sometime that we should never try to do this. But there are some people, those who give example like of Bharat, or Mirabai, or Dhruva Maharaj. So Prabhuji was saying that exceptions are always there. You have to follow the rules which is for general people. So then he shared example of Rabindranath Tagore. I don't exactly remember the example, but he said that he wrote some poems, and then he got his degree, his some award in his he received at his own house. He didn't have to go anywhere else or to any college, something like
Like he
that.
received honorary PhD.
Yeah, yeah,
honor
some, yeah.
is from the universities. They just gave him honorary because he was so talented.
He was so talented and he didn't go to university. So so he didn't go to college or university for showing that I'm doing this. So exceptions are always there, but you cannot compare yourself. You always consider the general rules. So this is the second he said. And third is one must serve the spiritual master. So as I said, that how we serve the spiritual master. So if we obey, we follow his instruction, or if he gives, give us services like for prasadam, cooking prasadam, or cleaning the temple, of serving the deities, or any other service, we should not just say that this is not of my choice, or not do it. If we follow him, that is actually taking the complete shelter of a spiritual master. So serving spiritual master is very important. Then fourth, he said, one must receive instruction from the spiritual master and make inquiries in order to learn devotional service. So here they've clearly mentioned that all your questions or your inquiries should be in order to learn devotional service. Now, when I say, if I take my example, so in devotional service, being grihastha, sometimes we have other problems also, which are actually, you can say, blocking us, or we can say that, we are not able to do our devotional service because of some household problem. So you can anytime go and talk to your spiritual master, and he'll be able to guide you. But other than that, you should not just take any question and just talk, for arguing or for checking his knowledge. So they have strictly mentioned here that all your inquiries should be advancing on devotional service. How you can advance, that's how your question should be. So in the purport also, they've given this 4.34 from Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidi pranipatena pari prashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnananis tattva darshina. So in the translation also, they said that try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. So try to learn the truth. So we are in the movement, or we want to go on the spiritual path to learn the truth. So for truth, we should approach the spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service to him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So this self-realized here is the big self, not the small self. So he's the self-realized, like he's completely surrendered to Krishna. So he's a self-realized soul. So he has a very good, great connection with God, and he has completely surrendered to God. So if you, if you just serve him, or accept, question him, then he can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So because he's a big self-realized soul, so if you ask him, he can reveal the truth to you. So as we see in our shastras, all these scriptures are actually revealing the truth, and they are all written by our acharyas. So when we read Bhagavatam, we learn about Prahlad Maharaj. We have other examples. We are reading Nectar of Instruction, for example. So they tell us what we should do. But even if you're not on the spiritual journey, you are not, or you don't want to advance on spiritual world, still those don'ts are applicable for material world also, कि आपको ज्यादा नहीं खाना चाहिए, आपको कम बोलना चाहिए, आपको ये नहीं करना चाहिए. So these those are the real truth, which that's why we should ask related to knowing to know that truth, we should question them. So now Prabhupada here says that if you keep yourself spiritually engaged in Krishna consciousness, your body will become spiritual, although it is material. Like our soul is always spiritual, but when we come to material world, it becomes material. So that's why we need to soak ourselves in Krishna consciousness. So how we soak? By Shravanam Kirtanam, like soaking your senses for Krishna consciousness. And here, Prabhuji has given an example of your hand, like your fingers are like five senses, and your the mouth is like for chanting the Mahamantra, and your eyes is for darshan the Lord. The nose is to smell the flowers offered to the Lord. Your ears for hearing kirtan and glories of Lord Krishna, and your skin is to clean the temple hall and so these are all, that's how you should actually feed your brain with your senses. So you feed your brain because now we see, like if my eye sees something, and then as we are doing in Bhagavad Gita also, that you start contemplating. So by seeing we contemplate. So if we see a good thing, then we'll feed our brain the good things. So that's why our senses should be soaked in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhuji has given example here, like if you put a iron rod in fire, it takes the qualities of fire, and it become red hot. Then if you beat it with the hammer continuously, you can give any shape you want. Similarly, by accepting a guru gives you shiksha. So when you accept a bona fide guru, when you serve him, or you are in the association of the guru, then you actually take some qualities of the guru. You don't become the guru yourself, but you take some of the qualities of guru. And then guru gives you siksha. So with the siksha, your heart melts. And when your heart actually melts and it's completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then Guru actually molds it. Then how you should serve Krishna, what you should do, so that you should do the best and so that you can completely surrender yourself to Krishna. And if you do all this, then this is all tat tat karma pravartana, because you are following the footsteps of your spiritual master. And by actions you are doing it, by like taking the instruction and fulfilling, and whatever he's asking you to do, if you're doing that, is pravartanat. So if you do that, you leave all your anarthas and you become a pure devotee. And by acharyas, okay, so it is said that one should strictly follow the easy path shown by Acharya. So Prabhuji said that the Acharyas has actually shown us a very easy path. But why it is difficult for us? Because we are actually trying to change our mind, which is already absorbed in the material world. So that's a fight going on between, uh, our fight with our own mind, that we want to change the routine, we want to discipline our mind. And that is why people say, no, no, this is very difficult. But it's clearly mentioned that it's a very easy path shown by our acharya, but you have to strictly follow it. Because we don't strictly follow it, we find it difficult. And then it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.31, Swayam samuttirya sudutstaram dyuman bhavarnamam bhim bhiman adabhra sahrada bhavat padam bhoruha navam atra te nidhayam nidhaya yata sad anugraho bhavan. Sorry, मैंने गलती पढ़ा होगा थोड़ा. A translation: O Lord, who resemble the shining sun, you are always ready to fulfill the desire of your devotee, and therefore you are known as a desire tree, Vancha Kalptaru. When acharyas completely take shelter under the lotus feet in order to cross the fierce ocean of nescience, they leave behind on earth the method by which they cross. And because you are very merciful to your other devotees, you accept this method to help them. So Prabhuji, I don't know, Deepika Mataji, she was sharing one example. I don't remember exactly, that one very pure devotee, he kicked someone, and then Krishna had to show his mercy to the one whom he kicked, because he considered that he's the most fallen one. So here they say that, I shared yesterday also, that the acharya themselves board the boat. They think that the material world, this samsara, is very vast. So they will use this boat to reach the other side and reach the supreme abode. The moment they sit in the boat, the boat, the samsara ocean becomes very small, like a hoofprint of a calf, and they reach to the other side. But because they are self-realized souls, so they cannot leave the world behind, in struggling. So when they reach to the lotus feet of Lord, they leave the boat for other people to board. And what is that board? That board is actually following the parampara and the shastras. So if you follow, you will definitely reach the destination. So it means actually, if you follow them, the shastras and the acharyas, so this is the real tat karma pravartanat. So this is my example. I just made this example. I don't know if it be hota ki nahi. And while preparing the lectures of presentation, we are presenting on nectar of instruction, and we are still taking reference from Srila Prabhupada book, and no, okay. So yeah, Prabhuji shared this actually. So while preparing the lectures and presentation of verses of NOI, so when we are preparing this presentations, and this book is written by Srila Prabhupada, and all other books which are written by Srila Prabhupada. Whenever we are preparing any presentation or we are doing some work, then we take help from Bhaktya Loka. Like Deepika Mataji shared that book na. So Bhaktya Loka is written by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur is the spiritual master of uh, Srila Prabhupada. So here we see this is the beauty of Guru Parampara. Like Srila Prabhupada actually came after Bhakti Vinod Thakur, but understanding his writings, his book, we are going back to the Bhakti Vinod Thakur's book and understanding. So this is actually true Guru Parampara. So like if we are now, because Prabhupada is not here, so now if we have to understand his books, where should we go? We don't have any other guru like after Srila Prabhupada so that we can go and ask him. So we are going backwards. So this is the beauty of parampara, that you are going to his guru to understand what he is trying to say presently. So that is why it's very important for us to follow the parampara. And then Prabhuji said that the first 5, as I shared here, after 9 process, uh, this Guru Padashya Diksha, Guru Sevana, Sad Dharma Shiksha Pracha, Sadguru Marga Nugamana. So iske baad there are last 5 which he explained, and he said that these 5 are also very potent ones. So he said that Lord Chaitanya explained that these are the 5 most important aspects in devotional service, which is even a little bit performed can quickly bring one to the stage of love of God. So Sadhu Sangha, these 5 are Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtana, Bhagavad Shravana, Mathura Vasa, and Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. So Sadhu Sangha is the association of devotee, Nama Kirtana, glories of the, singing the glories or listening the glories of Krishna. Bhagavata Shravana, reading the scriptures, because there also it's the glories of Krishna only. Mathura Vasa, if you can go to Mathura and stay there, go Vrindavan, you can stay. But in Kali Yuga, as Prabhuji says, that it's difficult for us, to go and stay there. So Neelu Mataji also shared that if you cannot go there in Kali Yuga, it's difficult for us. But if you do all these things, like you do the chanting, you follow the 4 regulative principles, you do the Navviddha Bhakti, you accept a spiritual master, you serve him, you do the Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravana, then you are residing in your house actually becomes your house become Mathura Vrindavan. So that's how you should actually, you are not in the real Vrindavan, Mathura, but you made your house like Vrindavan. And there you can serve uh, deities. So Prabhuji said one should associate with devotees, chant the holy name of the Lord, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, recite at Mathura and worship the deity with faith, as I explained. Example he is given, like sometime a bucket goes deep inside the well. So here we compare the well is the material world and the bucket is like we can say ourselves, like we are so absorbed in the material world, we have gone so deep down with our, satisfying our senses materially, that sometimes it is so difficult for us to come up. So same happens when a bucket goes deep down in the well, then it's difficult for people to just pull it. So they actually some instrument with 5 hooks, and they throw in the well, and if at least the one hook is stuck in the bucket handle, then they can pull it. So the same way, if you actually hook yourself to any one service among these dedicatedly, strictly, and with the complete surrender to Krishna, then this one service can pull you up from the material well. So whatever we are trying to do, it should, the ultimate goal is to please Krishna. I sing kirtan, or if I'm doing it like because I like to do it, but it will not make any sense until I'm actually trying to please Krishna with this. If somebody is reading shastras, but if you're not doing in the mood that you want to learn Krishna through shastra, then there is no point of doing it. So that's Prabhuji shared. And there is one story. This is a very beautiful story. I will quickly, complete this. So Prabhuji said that it's a very beautiful story, and I also liked it. So it's actually, after going through this story, I feel that it actually explains the whole verse very nice, not only tat tat karma pravartanat. So the story is, once there were some people, they were sleeping under a tree. Suddenly, a person came and woke them up, and he had a basket freshly cut fruits, and he started distributing, sorry, different
Mataji can't hear you.
You can't hear me now? Okay, wait, Mat.
So can you start with the beginning of story?
Yes, let me do it. Okay. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, okay. So once there were some people sleeping under a tree. The day was very, very hot. Suddenly, a person came and woke them up, and he had a basket full of freshly cut fruits. He started distributing different fruits to uh, each of them. Like, you take this, you take papaya, you take apple, you take banana, you take mango, like that. So when they tasted those fruits, they were very pleased and satisfied because the fruits were very, very delicious. They asked the person, can we have one more round? Like, can you give us some more fruits? So the person said, if you want more, you have to come with me, and I can take you to the place, to the orchard where I got all these fruits from. But uh, you have to walk with me all the way to the to that place. So they all agreed. So here we see the utsaha. So everybody is very excited. Oh yes, we'll go. So they all agreed and stood up with enthusiasm and started following. But because the day was very, very hot, after walking few miles, some people said, realized that we are not sure whether, said to that person, we are not sure if you can take us to that place. Why should we believe you? And there are a lot of problems. This is very hot. We were like happy there. Somebody else will come and give us more fruits. We'll be okay. We don't want to follow you. And they take the U-turn and go back. Some were still following him. So there was a desert on the way to the orchard. So the way to the orchard was not very easy. It was little full, not like lot of struggle, but because they were sleeping, it's struggling for them. So some people saw some coconut trees by the pond, and they said that, to that person, that we think, we can survive here with these coconuts and water. I don't think so we have to go all the way there. It's very hot here, and it's very difficult. We don't think so we'll be able to reach there, so we will stay here only. So they
decide to stay there. And they said, as I said, that we'll survive here, we can stay here. But there were some people still following the person, and they were determined to reach the orchard. After walking few miles, they started feeling nice cool breeze and no more hot sun and green. And there was, they were walking on the green grass, no more burning feet. And the person who distributed the fruits, opens the gate with the key, and they saw a very big orchard with tons of trees full of delicious fruits, and they were very happy, and they ate the fruits, and they were very satisfied. They stayed there forever, and they didn't want to go back to the place they came from. So this story actually explains, as I said, the whole verse, that if we follow the spiritual master. So here the person who's distributing the different fruits is the spiritual master, who's giving somebody, you take books, you take, somebody's excited for Rath Yatra, you take Kirtan, you take Prasadam, you take Shastras according to, so they will like it. So that's how the spiritual master is distributing the Navvidha Bhakti among those. But when they are, then when it happens in the moment, also we see that some people comes, yes, we will do that, we like this is so nice, this is so changing, it's changing my life, and they follow with the utsaha and the nischay that yes, we will follow. But after a few miles, we see that there are some people, those are, no, it's difficult. After the year or few months, they say, no, it's difficult, we don't think so we can continue. So these are the people, those actually will sit in
the tree and go to wait for different masters to come. Like somebody will give them fruits like you take now, and they will eat, and they say, wow, this is nice, will follow you. After some time they'll go back. So they actually take shiksha diksha, or you can say follow different paramparas, and they are satisfied with that fruit, and then again and again they come back. So this is how they are happy. But the second group of people is like when they find comfort, like they come to the movement, and they like book distributing, not books distribution, like kirtan, and somebody like cooking prasadam, or somebody like preaching. But we see that sometimes it happens, like people, Prabhuji mentioned this example, that people come in the movement and learn vastu for the shastras, and later he, first he said, I will do it for all the devotees, for this, but later he opens his own shop and then become a vastu consultant, and then he's doing the vastu, but he's not doing it for devotional service. So that's how people deviate from the so they see some comfort, like the coconut tree and the small pond, and they say, we can survive with this, we don't have to reach to the supreme abode. So they leave the spiritual master there. And then the third category of people, those who follow the spiritual master. So they are actually doing the Tat Karma Pravartanat. So we see initially when we start the process, because it's an easy process, but it's difficult to fight with your own mind. So we find it difficult, but we still, if we say it's okay, this is problematic, it may take me a few years, but I have to do it every day. So those people, those who are not affected by some problems, they actually reach and finally, enjoy the supreme abode with the spiritual master. So here, when we say that he opens the big door with the key, so to open the door of the supreme abode, the key is your spiritual master. So you need to prepare yourself to accept a spiritual master. And how will you do that? By doing Tat Karma Pravartanat, by following. And Prabhuji said that Krishna consciousness, it's like a marathon. It's not like a 100-meter race, or you have to actually go slow, and there are certain tricks, some principles, some formulas which you need to adopt. And when you do it, then you stay longer in the movement. Hare Krishna. Please forgive me for my, sometime I'm not able to pronounce some words. So please forgive me for that. And please correct me if I, and please give your comments. I'm sure I must have done lots of mistakes, but that मैं इतना ही कर सकती हूँ. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Amazing presentation.
Hare Krishna, very nice.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, very nice, Mataji.
A lot
Thank
of
you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, very well explained. Very good.
Very nice presentation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, very nice.